All right, so this is the Numark Pro Go, and I purchased this recently since I really wanted to get into DJing. And the reason why I wanted to get into DJing is because I love drum and bass music and I love dance music. So to be able to mix and have a lot of fun, especially on the go, means a lot to me. Because what I do is, every day I wake up, I go into the bathroom and I jam to my drum and bass music and I drink some coffee. Why not be able to mix while I'm in the fucking bathroom and jam out and have fun? So another reason why I bought this is just the fact that it's a standalone unit. Everything inside of this unit is all you need for DJing. It's got built-in speakers, which sounds semi-decent. When I play the music, I like to boost the bass with these speakers to get a little bit of more bass in the speakers. But it runs its own operating system called Engine DJ, Engine OS, and it allows you to manage all your music and change your music on the fly. And how you load the music is through either one of two options, is through the USB port on the back with a flash drive or an SD card. I personally went with an SD card because a USB drive on the back poking out, I might bend the port or I might mess something up. So an SD card is perfect for me. All right, so the thing about this is, we're browsing our music and it's gonna show us some information. It's gonna show us the key as well as the beats per minute. If any of the information I tell you is wrong, it's because I'm a brand new DJ. What makes the music more likely to be compatible is the key, which I think is like the tone, and then the beats per minute. And it allows me to browse this, and I like this little knob that you have where you twist this and it lets you navigate it. And let's just say I want to load up. In this song here. I want to load that song. I navigate it with this. I can either select it and load it, or I can press 1 and it'll load it on track 1. And then I press back to go view my music again. And then I select another song and I press 2 and it loads it on track 2. I have mine set up to be able to see the waveforms pretty big because I'm a brand new DJ and I like to see where those drums are and where all the stuff is. And it'll give you information here. For example, like both these songs, they're synced up. So they both change the tempo by -4%. So they're both at 166.9. And how I usually do it, since I'm so new and I'm such a fucking noob, is I just kind of like, maybe I want to go to the beginning of this song. So I'll navigate with my finger. I'll press play, switch that over there. And this is how we turn up the music through the speakers. And then they say, like, when you're mixing in another song, don't keep the bass there because that'll mess up the mix. And then what I do is I'll line up these red lines here, and that means it's matched up. Now, if these songs are compatible or not, I have no idea. Obviously, it's not really compatible. I'm kind of in like the wrong spot. But I love this unit so much, and the battery life is fantastic. I never worry about battery life with this thing. And there's so many different features on it too. You've got things where you can do an echo effect, a delay effect, a phaser effect. I don't know what the fuck that is, no ideas. But you could do shit like this, like there's this thing called roll. And I'm talking to you like you're a brand new DJ. Like you don't know what the fuck you're doing like I do. So there's this feature called roll, this sound effect where you're playing music. You can go in here. Oh. So what this does is this cuts out the low end, cuts out the high end the more you go this way, cuts out the low end the more you go this way. And as a beginner, I think this is perfect. And the reason why I say that is because when you got a new hobby like this, that's kind of like intricate, where everything's new to you, do you want to just grab one unit and go? Or do you want to set up a laptop with some speakers and spend 20 minutes setting it up and making sure everything's right? Or do you just want to just jump into the party? And this is exactly what that is, jumping into the party. And this DJ guy I know kind of talks shit. He's like, dude, you should get a Pioneer and use Rekordbox and use this software and do that. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't even know how to mix yet. So to have an all-enclosed unit is perfect. Now, if we're talking about flaws here, there is one flaw that I noticed is that, so you got 2 headphone ports here. So while you're mixing your music, you can preview what the other song is going to sound like by plugging in some headphones so the party doesn't hear. And you've got 2 choices. You've got the small jack and the big jack. The small jack seems to be kind of messed up. Like, it is a new unit. When I move this, it'll kind of cut out and stuff. So I've been using an adapter in that jack, and that's been way more reliable. I'm cool with this being fucked up as long as you give me this option. And then you can plug in a microphone, which is cool. So if you're mixing and you want to talk to people over the mix, that's pretty sick. I wish it was like XLR though, but that'd be a little bit too fucking professional for this. And if we take a look at the back here, make sure this thing doesn't fall over. We've got, so that's the port there to plug into the computer. So there's 2 different modes. You've got the built-in mode where you're running the operating system and mixing on the machine itself, or you could plug it into a computer and go into quote-unquote computer mode. And what computer mode does is it just turns this into a controller and you use the software on your computer to mix the music instead of the built-in software. What I've noticed is for example, the DJ app for Mac, it'll just be a blank screen and I'll see all my stuff on the computer and I'll mix. On Virtual DJ, it actually brings up a completely different screen and it allows you to move through the touch interface using Virtual DJ's software instead, which was pretty fascinating and I didn't even know they even did that. And then for this, we've got outputs for your speakers. You've got outputs for other speakers. I don't know, so this is more of like a professional output. I'd have to look into that. You've got your power plug, which is just a barrel connector. I don't know what the fuck this does. I have no idea. 2 USB ports for flash drives. I opted for SD card because if the flash drive's sticking out and I bend that will suck. So just trying to think here if I really have any like major gripes about this. It takes a minute to boot up. That's okay. The speakers are pretty decent. The jog wheels feel good. I wish I had more options to configure the main screen more how I would like. For example, you can zoom in and zoom out on the waveforms. Since I'm so new, I would love the waveforms to be even zoomed out even more. So we got some other features too, like I'm just gonna go ahead and fix the pitch on this. So this is the speed, the tempo of the song. And I've got this at default tempo now. We're gonna go ahead and bring back that frequency, turn this down. And they've got this thing called auto loop, where you can press this. So you press this one, it'll do the shortest, and then it'll do a little bit longer, a little bit longer, and a little bit longer. And then when you've got these things called cue points, so let me go ahead and pause this. And I'm gonna get rid of this roll here. I think it's shift. I get a little confused with this thing sometimes. There we go, so now I'm unselected on that. So we got these things called cue points. You press cue, and you've got these 4 pads. And let's just say I wanna navigate to this song. I'm gonna go to the second part of the song, and we're gonna find the drop here. Okay, so that's the drop right there. We're gonna go ahead and hit this cue point. Oh, you know what? I already had a cue point set up there. So give me 1 second here. Tick this up. All right, so we're gonna go back to that drop we were just at again. Let's see here. Okay, so that's our drop point. I'm gonna hit that cue right there. And that's gonna set a bookmark at exactly the point that I wanna play. So there you go. Now let's just say I wanna set it up over here to the first drop for the second cue point. So, boop, press that too. So now I have second break, first break. All right, so what that allows you to do is basically set up these cue points so you only press a button and it takes you to the exact place you want. Now, from what I've seen so far is that people use this to set multiple cue points and save them in songs to determine the different segments in the tracks. So when you're mixing in other tracks, you can see exactly those cue points and what's going on. So that's super cool. Got these 2 cue points. I'm gonna go ahead and delete them. So I'm gonna press hold down shift, press this, that deletes that one, press this, that deletes that one. So that's a cool feature. And then as you're mixing, you've got your headphones in, and what you can do is you can go over this and you can determine how loud the mix is in the earphones. So it's a little hard for me to explain since I'm so fucking new. But yeah, this thing's sick. I absolutely love it. It might take a little bit of configuration to set it up how you like it. And I think it's more than enough for me as a beginner. And I highly recommend it. And I think for the price, it's good. It's good for what you get. And it feels like this is kind of just like Android. It's just like a layer of like Android. It's been very reliable. It doesn't crash or anything. You can also Bluetooth from your phone to this. So you could play a song on Bluetooth into this and mix it in there, which is pretty cool. And let's see if I got anything else here. Oh, and we have samples too. I never really learned exactly how that worked. But so we've got samples. And to be honest, I don't know how to get to the fucking setting because I completely forget. But yeah, we do have sample. So we can play samples through these pads. If you have any questions, let me know. This was just kind of like my newbie review of this. And again, fuck this headphone port. I bought it on Amazon and I bought the whatever the hell it's called, the warranty plan. And who knows if they'll actually cover anything. But I bought the extended warranty that if you get damage to it, they'll fix it. So, because I knew that in the reviews they were talking about that, and that is true. And the headphones do get more than loud enough. You can definitely damage your ears with these, and that's what I love. I love hurting my ears. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and if you're interested in more content like this about electronics, consider subscribing.